If you have a human being and you are able to sell that person over and over and over again, that's very, very lucrative.
Women asked to sell their bodies to make money for men in prison cells.
Team 10 investigator Adam Rakusin discovered inmates in prison are using their cell phones and social media accounts to try and pimp women on the outside.
Just beyond the gates to Donovan State Prison are rows of chain-linked fence topped with razor wire in areas surrounded by guard towers with the warning, no trespassing. The elaborate security setup designed to keep inmates in, but those serving time don't need to be beyond the walls to inflict havoc on the world outside.
They will work these girls and women outside of prison. They do this, and then they send their money either back to be put on the inmates' books or get them money through some other means.
Pimping from prison is a phrase Carolyn Matzker's become all too familiar with. Matzker is a deputy district attorney for the San Diego County District Attorney's Office. For the past 6 years, she's been in the Sex Crimes and Human Trafficking Division.
Would you say that pimping from prison is a growing trend?
It's something that we've definitely realized is happening.
Here's the poster boy of the problem, Wendell Bullock, an inmate at Donovan State Prison.
He was already in prison for rape of someone. So he was serving a rape sentence, and then he was trying to work women while he was in prison.
According to Matzker, Bullock got his hands on a smuggled cell phone and set up an online social media account. He tried to communicate with women on the outside, but instead caught the attention of undercover detectives in Arizona and Colorado. Bullock identified himself as a pimp.
He just wrote to this prisoner and said something like, hey, what's up? And the prisoner said, looking for work? Are you looking for work? If you want to look for work, I can work you. Something along those lines.
Bullock told one of the undercover detectives his job was to believe in her and to post ads for her. Her job was to perform the sex acts, nothing less than for $150. Then send him the money she made through a credit card he'd get her.
It's the promises they make of, hey, this is a quick buck. You can make good money doing this. I believe in you.
The scheme ended with Bullock pleading guilty. In his plea agreement, Bullock wrote that he unlawfully encouraged a detective to become a prostitute by using promises or device or scheme.
If you have a human being and you are able to sell that person over and over and over again, that's very, very lucrative.
Here's how lucrative. According to Matzker, in the San Diego County area, sex trafficking is an $800 million business annually. She says the average age of a girl who's recruited is 16.
As long as there is a demand, there's trafficking.
Marisa Ugarte is the executive director of the Bilateral Safety Corridor Coalition. In a previous interview with 10 News, she described the type of person willing to buy another human being.
Normally individuals that have some kind of problems, but you also could have an occasional, sociopath.
As for what motivates the pimps, Matzker wouldn't speculate. But in prison, inmates have a lot of time, and despite their surroundings, can still have a lot of power.
They can do these blasts, and so it's really quick for them to reach a lot of people, and they only need 1 or 2 people, to bite, and then they've got a business.
And Matzker says that Bullock will be spending an extra about 10 years behind bars for pandering. Since his case, the Human Trafficking Task Force investigated 4 inmates in 3 state prisons who were using cell phones in their cells to traffic. 2 of those inmates have already been brought to San Diego County to be prosecuted. Adam Rakusin, Team 10.